All right, let's talk about something that might hit a little too close to home for some of you: the paradox of the gifted kid. Yeah, if you ever got stuck with that label, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's a whole story that comes with it, and, well, it's not always a fairy tale.
So, let me ask you something. Go back with me for a second, back to grade school. Were you that kid? The one who always finished the test first, didn't even have to study? The one the teachers would point to and say, oh, they're just a natural. If any of that is ringing a bell, then you're gonna wanna stick around, because we're about to connect some dots that might just change how you see things. And that brings us to the real mystery here, the one we're gonna crack open today. How on earth does being the brightest kid in the room so often turn into being the most anxious adult? You'd think it would be the other way around, right? It seems totally backwards. But the answer, it's all in how that whole smart kid identity got built in the first place. Okay, so let's get into it. It all kicks off with this idea of identity. See, for a lot of us, being gifted wasn't just something we were good at, it became who we were. It's like this identity was literally forged by all that praise we got from, our parents, our teachers, pretty much everyone. And that creates this intense internal pressure. This little voice that says, hey, if I'm the smart one, I can't ever not be smart. You see what happens there? It stops being about what you do and starts being all about who you are. And that's a super fragile, high-stakes game to be playing. It's like you're on stage 24/7 and you can't afford to mess up your lines. This is the key distinction right here. The identity that gets built isn't, I'm someone who works really hard to figure things out. No. It's, I'm someone who just gets it instantly. All the value gets piled onto that natural gift, not the actual process of learning. And folks, that is precisely where the trap is set. So you might be wondering, okay, how does that trap actually get sprung? Well, it all starts with the kind of praise these so-called gifted kids hear over and over and over again.
And it really boils down to this huge difference. On one hand, you've got what's called praise for being. Stuff like, you're a genius. It's all about who you are. But then on the other hand, you have praise for doing. Things like, wow, you worked so hard on that problem. That's all about the effort, the process. Now think about it. When a kid is constantly told, you're so smart, their brain makes a really simple but kind of dangerous connection. It starts thinking, okay, my value, my worth as a person, it comes from being smart. And what's the proof of being smart? Getting everything right on the first try with zero effort. Suddenly, effortless success is the only thing that matters. And that kind of wiring from childhood, it leads straight to some very real and honestly pretty damaging behaviors in adulthood. This is where we get to what's called the fear of exposure. So what does that look like in the real world? Well, here's the fallout. See if any of this sounds familiar. Maybe you avoid picking up a new hobby because you're scared you won't be amazing at it right away, or you keep procrastinating on that huge project at work. Or maybe it's just that constant nagging feeling that you're not living up to your potential. And here's the big one, that deep-seated belief that if you actually have to struggle with something, it means you as a person have failed. Yeah, that is the fear of exposure. It's this deep, gut-wrenching terror that if anyone sees you trying hard, if they see you sweat, the whole illusion is gonna come crushing down. They'll find out you're not a genius. And even worse, you'll find out. You'll realize you've been an imposter this whole time. This fear, right here, is the engine that drives all that anxiety and procrastination. So what this all leads to is this massive internal conflict that's just churning away inside anyone who grew up as a gifted kid. It completely messes with your understanding of what it even means to try, to struggle, or to succeed. Okay, so let's put it all together. For the person whose entire identity, their entire sense of self, is built on this idea of being effortlessly smart, well, for them, effort isn't this amazing tool for success. It's not the path you take to get better at something. Nope. Instead, it's seen as proof that you've already failed. The fact that you have to try hard is just confirmation that the gift was never really there to begin with. And that feels like a horrifying admission that you're just not good enough. You see, this goes way beyond just feeling a little uncomfortable or getting your ego bruised. We're talking about something much deeper. For someone whose whole identity is wrapped up in being gifted, the simple act of struggling doesn't just feel hard, it feels like a direct assault on their entire reason for being. So I want to leave you with a question to chew on. What if Struggling isn't the moment the mask slips and everyone sees you for the fraud you think you are. What if, instead, that struggle is the very first step toward building a new, much stronger identity? One that isn't based on some gift you are supposedly born with, but on the real, incredible strength you build for yourself every single day.